Okay, we should be live. We're waiting. Are we live? Mhm. It's showing like du-du-du-du. Now it's working. Took some time. But we have the chat on the phone just in case someone joins in. We haven't been live for a while because I lost my voice for like a couple of weeks. Um, so let's see what we have. Why doesn't it show me? Yeah, YouTube. Still much better than any other platform. So jump straight into it. We have a new logo at the back. We have it up top as well. We have a new website. Well, not new. Hopefully I won't be losing my voice again. To make sure the audio mixer is in the orange like now. So I have to be really close to the mic for that. Make sure it's not in the red as well. Let's just check. I'm using noise removal. Yeah, without it, probably have to record raw sound as well without the noise removal, because sometimes it is better. And then essentially, if there was something noisy outside of something, so I can use the other audio recording. But at the moment, I just have the one. Did it just clip on me? No. I don't know if I'm potentially too close to the mic. That being said, one of the new tools on bodychaos.com, this was added last week, 2 weeks ago. It's this speech rate and volume analysis. I'll jump into it. Might have trouble with the microphone. Hopefully not. No, the mic in the stream is still working. Right, because so this is using the browser transcription. Someone said it wasn't working on them, and yes, on one of my phones it wasn't working as well. Why is the quality of the stream is low? Higher picture quality should be on this high internet connections speed, so it should be okay. Quality is still low. High picture quality, it's still doing 144p. What? Let's check my. This is what I'm using at the top bottom right. You can see what I'm currently being using. Sending 15, 16 megabit per second. What's my show connection? I forgot. Should be 100. Not sure. Quick speed test. No, yeah, it says 100. Wi-Fi. I'm using 40, was it 30-40% of the GPU, 10% CPU. That would be for the streaming business. Let's get back to it. So this is the transcription. This is what's currently being transcribed. There's some rubbish. There's some rubbish. Yeah, I don't remember saying 30-40%. No, it's okay. It's doing the job. And this one actually, I can actually whisper into this, and this will be still recording because this is taking the input directly from the microphone without any noise suppression. So even if I do this, it will still record. Yeah, as you can tell. But in the, I don't know if when I'm whispering like this, yeah, sometimes the sound will not get picked up. Yeah, sometimes the sound, um, the what's called the noise cancelling NVIDIA's thing will suppress it, so it will not be coming through at all, which is a problem. Just let's take things one by one. So this is what we have running live, and if we go to, should we keep the transcription going? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's Google is using. I mean, for YouTube videos, because sometimes the transcription is just horrible. I think it's much worse than this. This is something embedded into the browser. So someone, if it doesn't work for you, it's probably because of the browser. Let's check a few things. Right, we have an error message. Speech rate. So why are we printing that out? Okay, we'll get back to this. There's one error, and we also keep printing out the speech rate. A JavaScript line 158. No, yeah, that will open that, of course. So this is a development thing. Let's get back to the main site. We still, yeah, we have quite a few things to fix. This code was partially generated for us by ChatGPT. That's okay-ish. Let's go here for a sec. And right, so this WebSocket connection, it's actually, to begin with, I thought something left from NI. Originally, I used National Instruments to, it's a no code to develop HTML web application front ends. And yeah, it's generating some sort of XML or something. I don't have it open. If someone was interested in it, like even invited me to give a talk up in Sydney about, but that's not something I use anymore. I might actually lose license for it as well soon. So moving to Python. And of course JavaScript and the like. Anyway, so this code coming from, if I'm clicking on that again, will open the so it's not something I could reproduce in my development because the live server is running. My port 5500. It's working okay. By the way, did I forget to post this thing? Give me a sec. Maybe someone wants to join in. I'll just post. Put it on Twitter as well, just in case. What? Twitter changed the logo or something. That's a shame. Meaningless logo, just an X. What? Or did it not load correctly or something? I don't know what's up. I can't show it for copyright stuff. I just want to show my stuff on the screen, so don't really want to talk about it really. But we do. We have this. Right. I'll post it on. Let's see. Let's post it. By the way, that the image. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, I'm digressing. Leave it aside. Back to this. If anyone asks for it, happy to talk about how the thumbnail for this video was generated. I actually used the Bing image generator thing that does put an annoying little logo, Bing logo at the bottom of the image, which is not nice. Don't like it at all. I don't know why. I mean, if you generated the image, why they holding like copyright for it or something? Or is it just meant to tell you that that was generated by a bot? I don't know. Anyhow, so we have this. So we're using Visual Studio Code. Do we have the transcription still going? And we have this message in the production. So it didn't come up in development, only came up in production. And after further investigation, found out that the live server add-on in Visual Studio Code injected this script, JavaScript, into my HTML for the main page. So, and asking ChatGPT what it is, this is what it says. I just read this because I'm also losing my voice, so I might play this.
It appears you've pasted a script used by LiveServer, a simple development HTTP server with a live reload capability. Here's what the script does. WebSocket connection. It checks if the browser supports WebSockets. If it does, it sets up a WebSocket connection to the server. WebSockets allow for full duplex communication channels over a single TCP connection, which is useful for real-time data exchange. CSS refresh function. The refresh CSS function is defined to reload style sheets without refreshing the whole page. It does this by getting all the linked elements, style sheets, from the document, modifying their ref attribute to append or update a _cache override query parameter. The value of this parameter is the current timestamp. This essentially tricks the browser into thinking it's a new style sheet, forcing it to reload the style sheet. Reappending the linked elements to the document. WebSocket message handling. Once the WebSocket connection is set up, the script listens for messages from the server. If the server sends a reload message, it refreshes the entire page. If the server sends a refresh message, it calls the refresh CSS function to reload only the style sheets. Session storage. The script checks the browser's session storage to see if it's the first time the page has been loaded with live reload enabled. If it is, it logs a message to the console indicating that live reload is enabled. This ensures that the log message is only shown once per session.
Anyhow, supposedly I don't actually need that code, so let's try just be getting rid of it. This script, we don't need this injection, code injection. Not a great idea. And just save this. This is a prototype website, and again this error wasn't showing up here at all, because it's only showing up when the live, it's called the live server, is not actually running. But let's me put this into production. Oops. And we'll test for this. This error should go away, this WebSocket connection, which will be still there, and hopefully that will go away once we update index HTML of the landing page. We don't need that code being injected. Yeah, that error went away. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know why. I don't remember any notifications or anything, but essentially this live server extension injected JavaScript code into my HTML for no particular reason. This will be still running okay. Right, so we got rid of that. Now we had some comments of how this page looks like. There's a weird thing. So when I in the browser, I mean, it doesn't matter. Chrome behaves in the same way. In the browser, this is a phone I have. It's supposedly that many pixels. It's just looked up the specs, but it's obviously incorrect. It doesn't have that many pixels. So if I'm using a Galaxy S20 Ultra, this is what I see. And on the mobile page, you should have this little burger that I was testing. You should have it in every page, every tool, and from there you can select where you want to go next. So that's working fine on the on a larger screen. So that's essentially when the screen goes above a 600 pixel wide, that burger will disappear and you will actually have the menu there. And if it's going even wider, the menu will appear on the right of the screen. So that's working okay. Now to this, this is the new tool that we have. Also have an error there. Actually, let's check it from right, this is not working because the live server is turned off. Turn it off now. So this tool, audio transcription and speech analysis, will show you volume metrics, speech rate metrics. If you actually stop talking, it will transcribe what you just said. And it's really good, surprisingly good. It's much better than what YouTube does for my videos. The subscription there, it's pretty bad. So this is me actually making a pause, so it's considering it as a full stop. That's fine. That's me coughing. Hopefully I didn't pick up on that. Oops, my mic just got saturated. Coughing. Coughing. It's my pronunciation is so bad, or coughing. No, can't get it to say. If anyone can teach me, I have to ask my boss how to pronounce it properly. Sorry, getting email notifications going into the stream, which is not ideal. I was trying to. Yeah, my OBS, the streaming tool, is the settings are a bit all over the shop. Yeah, when I transcribe this.
Hey, audio transcription, that speech analysis will show you volumetric speech right metrics. If you actually stop talking, it will transcribe what you just said. And it's really cool. It's surprisingly good. It's much better than what YouTube does for my videos, the subscription there. It's pretty bad. So this may actually make you post, so it's considering it as a full stop. That's fine. That's me, coffee. Hopefully it didn't pick up on that. Oops, my mic just got saturated. Coffee. Coffee. It's my pronunciation so bad, or coffee. Now can't get it to. Anyone can teach me. Have to ask. My boss. How to pronounce it properly. Sorry, getting email notifications going into the stream, which is not ideal.
Okay, get the point. And should I use that instead of my actual voice? Would my YouTube videos be much more successful? Anyhow, before, it's still there. So first we don't need to print out the speech rate. So that is the JavaScript live source. No, that's okay. It's okay. Console log. Yeah, we don't want a console log. So we want to comment that out. We need update status. Maybe in console error. That the error haven't happened yet. We also have in this transcriber status on, so some people were saying how it actually doesn't transcribe for them. Does not transcribe for them. Yeah, that's better. Have to make the bot happy with my pronunciation, don't I? So there's a couple things I want to improve on this one. I want this scroll bar to automatically scroll down. I might just get the code interpreter quickly solve that. Not sure. So we have this folder, we have the HTML, the JavaScript that does all the heavy lifting. Let's put this quickly into a code interpreter. Hopefully it's not too long. See what it says. Right, we're hopefully getting rid of that speech rate, but we haven't updated the server yet. It should be like an easier way of releasing into production. The idea for this tool was to actually, there are many use cases. I can't do anything. I'm not a clinician, so I'm not allowed to mention any medical use cases, but like speech pathology and the like. If any speech pathologist would like to collaborate on this, I'll be more than happy to. But essentially this could be used to improve you're speaking. If it's a presentation, recording YouTube videos, like I do. So this could actually a few improvements here would be giving you some sort of rating, potentially like a red, yellow, green on the screen somewhere that indicates, how well are you doing. So if you live streaming like I do now, so that's something that we want to be looking at. And obviously there's a lot of use cases for this. So I keep losing my voice, so I might actually, can I try? The other problem is that it will clear the text for no particular reason. And yes, I was trying to fix it with GPT, but I had some mixed results. This is what this code does.
Your code is quite comprehensive. It captures audio volume, processes the audio stream, uses the WebKit speech recognition API to transcribe the speech, and visualizes the volume and speech rate on a chart. I've reviewed the code and here's a summary and some suggestions. Volume visualization. You're using an analyzer to capture the volume and updating it in your chart every second. You've added logic to start the speech recognition when the volume exceeds a baseline. However, the baseline volume is always set to 0. You might want to consider setting a threshold based on the background noise or ambient volume if possible. Speech recognition. You've set up the WebKit speech recognition API and
I have a bot talking to a bot, so whenever this text-to-speech is being fed into the transcriber, but you want to do it like audio and be able to change the noise level. So essentially test how well the transcription is going. And then you can also, because you have the text for both, you can do analysis. It's like that there was some metric in one of the Kaggle competitions that's essentially looking at the distance between the letters for each word, things like that.
And listening for result and end events. You've set up the WebKit speech recognition API and listening for result and end events. When a result event is triggered, you process the transcript and calculate the speech rate. The end event listener is ensuring that the recognition restarts if it ends, keeping it continuous. You're maintaining a queue to track the change in word count over a 1-second interval. This seems to be a mechanism to calculate the speech rate, but you're also calculating the speech rate directly in the result event. This might be redundant. Chart visualization. You're visualizing both volume and speech rate on the same chart, which is great. The labels and dataset structure are well organized. Suggestions.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so lovely that the bot providing you feedback.
Baseline volume. As mentioned earlier, consider setting baseline volume based on some initial capture of ambient noise or set a fixed threshold that's above the ambient noise level to determine when to start recognition. Speech rate calculation. You might want to decide on a single mechanism for calculating the speech rate. Either use the queue-based approach or the direct calculation in the result. Mentioned earlier, consider setting baseline volume based on some initial capture of ambient noise or set a fixed threshold that's above the ambient noise level to determine when to start recognition. Speech rate calculation. You might want to decide on a single mechanism.
That's a good suggestion, by the way. You need to record the baseline noise, so this one, where's that volume thing, doesn't keep fluctuating all the time. It's a bit slow as well, so it's not updating quite as quickly as one would expect. And yes, there is the speech rate metric is on purpose. I don't know, maybe it was a bug, but every bug can be turned into a feature, right? So the speech rate number is updating more slowly. Yes, because it needs more time. Like it's updating every a second or so. Yeah, and then you have words per second. So if I talk very fast, in theory this should go higher, even though it will be, it's a bit delayed first. Again, will be like a 1 second delay, and also yeah, we need to test this. so, so if there anyone volunteering to test this, that would be great. And sorry if this doesn't work for you. Apparently, it wouldn't work on the Apple browser, which sorry I don't have access to. I don't even know. I can check how things will look like on an iPhone, but can I use the browser on Microsoft? Can I use the Apple browser on Microsoft? So let's copy this. So this will be a code interpreter. Let's start another chat. We'll have another bot. It will just be a GPT-4. And yes, I'm paying for this, but just for I actually discontinued the pay. First, it's not 20, well, the 20 American dollars is actually 22. There are like some taxes. And then the $22, apparently it's like 30. Anyway, it's like a gazillion Australian dollars. So, and I don't think it's actually worth it. So this one, can I use? We can actually compare GPT-4 and GPT-3. Just do this. The text Da Vinci 002, some crap. Just compare GPT-4. Oh, okay, only one message at a time. Oh. It's still generating? No, it stopped generating. We can regenerate.
As of my last update in September 2021, Apple's web browser, Safari, was not officially available for Windows. Apple did once offer Safari for Windows from 2007 to 2012, but they discontinued support for it and it's no longer recommended to use due to lack of updates and potential security vulnerabilities.
Right, Safari.
However, there are a few things you could consider. Alternative browsers. While Safari isn't available for Windows, there are several other popular browsers like Chrome, Firefox.
Okay. Still, it's fine. Yeah. ChatGPT-4. Yeah, maybe if I mentioned Safari specifically, it would have answered it differently. But why would you recommend other browsers when I'm asking specifically about this one? Let's copy the whole thing to ChatGPT-3 and yeah, that's a better answer. So ChatGPT-3 just understood.
As of my last update in September 2021, there is no Apple browser in the sense of a dedicated web browser developed by Apple for Windows or Microsoft operating systems. Apple primarily develops and offers its web browser called Safari for its own operating systems, such as macOS, iOS, and iPadOS.
Anyway, so it's not available full stop, so there's no real way for me to test it. If anyone, so someone said this tool would not transcribed, will not transcribe on Safari. Why this stop working? Ah, it is working. So we will leave it at that. So there's a few questions to this tool. First of all, we can improve it quite a bit. Let's try a few things. So let's see what the code interpreter is suggesting.
Baseline volume. As mentioned earlier, consider setting baseline volume based on some initial capture of ambient noise or set a fixed threshold that's above the ambient noise level to determine when to start recognition. Speech rate calculation. You might want to decide on a single mechanism for calculating the speech rate. Either use the queue-based approach or the direct calculation in the result event, but using both might introduce inconsistencies. Might want to decide on a single mechanism for calculating the speech rate. Either use the queue-based approach or the direct calculation in the result event, but using both might introduce inconsistencies. Chart up.
Yeah, I remember messing around with this a lot because it would just not work. It would be like 100 prompts or something to get the speech rate to show something useful.
Update. While you're updating the chart multiple times in different sections of the code, it might be more efficient to have a single routine that updates the chart at fixed intervals or after certain data updates. Error handling. Your error handling with try-catch blocks is good. Always ensure to provide informative feedback to the user in case of errors. Permissions. Always ensure that the user is well informed about the permissions they're granting, in this case, microphone access, and ensure you handle cases where access is denied. Browser compatibility. The WebKit Speech Recognition API is specific to Chrome. If you're planning to support multiple browsers, consider checking for compatibility and maybe use some polyfills or alternatives.
Okay, so for obviously, as you can tell, this is working on Edge. I'm pretty sure it was working in Firefox as well. So let's check Chrome quickly. 1212. If this one taking my... Yeah, it's amazing that it's working actually in both browsers. While using the same microphone. So the microphone is not... Wait. No, it's using... Okay, in Chrome, I'm having trouble selecting the microphone. It's using my NVIDIA broadcast, which has the noise suppression. So you can compare the two side by side, and I can't seem to change it. Show you. So this is in Chrome. Get any errors? It's an error. It's the same error. It's another warning. Wouldn't worry about it yet. So this box will have a maximum width, and then it will start dropping things down. So that's okay. Okay. So it's working in Chrome as well as Edge. And let's check. Yeah, Firefox is nice at letting you choose the microphone. It's letting you choose the microphone and nothing is working. And transcriber status is off, so at least I know. The microphone is in red. The transcriber is off. So Firefox will not work. So I think it's actually, yeah, most things that work in Chrome will work in Edge as well, because from memory, Edge is Edge Chromium based. So I think it will work in anything that is a Chromium. Yes. Okay. So it will not work in Firefox or Safari. Okay, so do I need to, I don't know, do I need to make a note of that? Yeah, probably I do. I'll just refer to this video. I will eventually put the video of me using the tool. So let's see. So what browsers this tool will work in? This Chrome stops transcribing? Right, so this is also interesting. Chrome is making a lot of mistakes. Well, right, that's because it's using different Microsoft microphones. I'm pretty sure this is using the original thing, whereas original thing. Yeah. Can I select? So I'm having trouble selecting the microphone here. The drop down menu just wouldn't work. Let's just try something crazy. It will affect the live stream as well. Let's turn noise removal. It's pretty quiet in the room anyway. And now we'll test the both transcriptions, see if they are comparable or not. Right, this is better. Chrome is slower or something. So that should be the same. Yeah, Chrome transcription is not as good. So I assume even though both browsers, Edge and Chrome, are Chromium based, there's obvious differences between them. Let's rate this.
So I assume even though both browsers Edge and Chrome are Chromium based, there is obvious differences between them.
Well, anyway, there is a difference between how things are being transcribed. Let's get back to the code. So let's just stick to Edge. Just close the other browser. Just use it for my YouTube stuff. It's really interesting how when is my live thing still working? Do I need the noise removal back? Yeah, I probably need the noise removal back. Yeah, probably need the noise removal back. Well, anyway, yeah, that's better. I think it's better for the stream, but not so good for transcription. So therefore, for the transcription, I'm using the recording from the raw microphone without the NVIDIA broadcast noise removal. So I'll just stick do that. Right. Actually, he's talking about browser compatibility.
Browser compatibility. The WebKit Speech Recognition API is specific to Chrome. If you're planning to support multiple browsers, consider checking for compatibility and maybe use some polyfills or alternatives. Refactoring. Consider refactoring the code into smaller, well-named functions. This makes the code more readable and maintainable. For instance, the code inside the update function can be broken down into smaller functions like capture volume, update chart data, etc. Performance. Ensure that the continuous recording and processing do not slow down the user's device, especially if this runs for extended periods.
Yes, we need to add the label saying this will work only on Chromium-based browsers, which is Chrome and Edge, and I don't know, other ones. I'm pretty sure the smaller ones are Chromium-based as well. Yes, it is not just Chrome, it's all Chromium.
Apologies for the oversight. The WebKit Speech Recognition API is specific to browsers based on the Chromium engine, not just Chrome. This includes Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, the newer versions that are based on Chromium, Opera, which also uses the Chromium engine, other browsers that are built on top of the Chromium project. However, browsers like Firefox, Safari, and older versions of Microsoft Edge that are not based on Chromium do not support the WebKit Speech Recognition API. When developing applications that rely on such browser-specific features, it's always a good idea to provide fallback options or inform the user about the browser compatibility to ensure a smooth user experience.
Right. Yeah, that is a good idea. Can make a note for the website. Make a note for the website. Other things. But just a quick note on this tool here. This is just an example. It's not actually doing anything useful. It's a Plotly JavaScript. Just something to play around with. Yeah, too many tools. The problem is some of them can be hidden because this speech chat is actually done with something else. Control Shift C, canvas chat. This is what referring to JavaScript. We also have.
Certainly. Here's a note you can place on your website to inform users about browser compatibility. Browser compatibility notice. Our website utilizes advanced speech processing features that are supported by browsers based on the Chromium engine. For the best user experience, we recommend using one of the following browsers. Google Chrome, download here. Microsoft Edge. Features may not work as expected. We are continually working to improve compatibility across all browsers. Thank you for your understanding.
Right. Yes, generic rubbish. But that will do. We need to place it at the bottom in footer. Can you make it shorter? I want it shorter. Place it in the footer there. Is commented. Commented out.
For optimal experience, use Chromium-based browsers like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Opera. Some features might not work in other browsers.
That will do. We'll save that. Just go. Right. Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Opera, any Chromium based. Can you also explain this error for me? We had to do some other things, so it's not in production yet. What else did we want to do? We wanted to why the code is being, the transcription is being deleted sometimes. You wanted to keep it there for the session. So unless you reload the page, the transcript will be kept intact. What's this error?
The error message, uncut DOM exception, failed to execute, start on speech recognition. Recognition has already started, indicates that you are trying to start the speech recognition service while it's already running. Based on the code you provided earlier, there are multiple places where recognition.start is called. It's possible that these calls overlap, leading to this error. To address this, check before starting. Before calling recognition.start, check the isRecognizing flag to ensure that the recognition isn't already running. JavaScript. Copy code. If isRecognizing, recognition.start, isRecognizing equals true.
I'm pretty sure we have this. I think the problem is that we have this recognition start in 4 places. Why? And we already have that going.
Handle the end event properly. In your end event listener, you're trying to restart the recognition. Ensure that the recognition has truly ended before starting it again. Single entry point. Consolidate the code to have a single entry point for starting the recognition. Your end event listener, you're trying to restart the recognition. Ensure that the recognition has truly ended before starting it again. Single entry point. Consolidate the code to have a single entry point for starting the recognition. This will make it easier to manage and reduce the chance of overlapping calls. Error handling. Add an error event listener to handle any errors gracefully. JavaScript. The code to have a single entry point for starting the recognition. This will make it easier to manage and reduce the chance of overlapping calls.
Can you do this? This will be better because currently I'm calling it 4 times. You have recognition start. Well, why?
Consolidate the code and ensure a single entry point for starting the recognition. Follow these steps. Create a function to start recognition. Look through your code and every place you have recognition.start, replace it with start recognition. Adjust the end event listener.
That wouldn't change anything, would it? Because I'll still have it. This thing running 4 times. No, actually, it will help because it will always it will always check if it's already turned on. That's probably not a bad idea. To do it before. Need to do it here. We go there. Start recognition. Actually, 5 times. All right, now it's in the function as well. So the first time it's in the function. From the second time, also checking here for base volume. So what it said in the beginning, it's not correct because we do have the base volume going. So it is okay to change it here. Oops. Delete it there. Place it here. No, wait. Is recognizing true. So we don't. Why do we have the? I don't think we need this at all. Cognition start, we actually need to use the function. Yeah, that's in the function. That's the website in production. This is what we're doing right now. Right, so the error went away. Just need to make sure everything else is still working. Now, also head this function, start recognition. Search for that. We have it 3 times. That's done start recognition. That's working okay. Here it's just a standalone. And in this case, it's actually checking for baseline volume. Checking for baseline volume. We don't need to do that anymore. Yeah, this event listener is also not really needed. Oh crap, I forgot to record this live stream locally. Start recording now. We need this for better quality recording locally. It's just not uploading it onto YouTube, and that's so we have it locally, not on somebody else's server, and also because that's what we use for editing new videos. It's still transcribing, yes. Place that is look through the code. Everybody, yes. We're gonna do just the end. Right.
No longer need to check the is recognizing flag in the end event listener because that logic is now encapsulated in the start recognition function.
Right. That makes sense. So I don't need the whole thing, or don't need this, do I?
You only need to call start recognition once during initialization, and it will manage the process from there. Consolidating the start process into a single function, start recognition, you've centralized the logic and reduced the risk of overlapping calls.
Yeah, that's fine. Do I need this whole thing, or I didn't understand the question. Can I remove the whole this thing? Pretty sure should be yes. Yeah, someone was saying, because I was complaining online about ChatGPT. I mean, the amount of back and forth prompts, it was not necessary. Just commented out. There's this still working okay. There are no errors. That's good. We'll keep testing it. It keeps running. So I don't need the end.
The end event listener was there to restart the recognition service when it stops for any reason, ensuring that the recognition service continuously captures speech without interruption. By removing this block, the recognition will not automatically restart if it stops due to any reason, like a pause in speech or an error. If you're okay with that behavior, then you can safely remove the block. If you decide to remove it, ensure that you have mechanisms in place to restart recognition manually or handle any interruptions gracefully.
Right. So the transcriber might just stop. Gracefully. I like the word gracefully. Gracefully. Yeah, but the speech rate keeps going up. So supposedly, so I don't get it. Would it removing this block will automatically restart if it stopped due to any reason? Would it stop? Would the recognition and transcription stop? In what case would recognition and transcription stop? No speech detect. Yeah, that's not good. Not speech detected. I do want it to keep going.
The speech recognition service can stop for several reasons. No speech detected. If there's a long pause or no speech detected for a while, the recognition service might automatically stop. Error occurrences. Various errors can cause the service to stop. Network errors. If the recognition service relies on a server and there's a connection issue. Not having access to the microphone. The browser or tab going inactive. Internal errors within the speech recognition service. Explicit stop. If you or any other script on your page calls the recognition.stop method, the service will stop. End of speech. The recognition might consider the speech to have ended if there's a significant pause or break in the audio input. Quota exceeded. If you're using a third-party service that has limits, like Google Cloud Speech to Text, and you exceed the allotted quota, the service might stop. Browser or tab inactivity. If a user switches tabs or minimizes the browser, some browsers might suspend the activity to save resources, causing the recognition to stop. Language not supported. If the set language isn't supported by the recognition engine, it might throw an error and stop. For continuous, uninterrupted transcription, developers often add the end event listener to restart the recognition service if it stops for any of the reasons mentioned above. However, it's also important to add an error event listener to capture and handle any errors gracefully.
Can you just do that? Why not just do it?
Below is how you can add both the end and error event listeners to handle the stopping of the recognition service and any errors that might occur. End event listener. This will restart the recognition service when it stops. JavaScript.
Okay, so that replacing this is still working, by the way. No, it's only working when the tab is active. Okay, I think it's down. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it's down.
This will capture any errors and handle them. Depending on the error, you might want to notify the user or take corrective action. With these listeners in place, your recognition service should handle interruptions and errors more robustly. Remember to have the start recognition function defined from previous discussions for this to work seamlessly.
So we have all this no speech was detected, no microphone was found, permission to access the microphone was denied, browser doesn't support the recognition server. That's a good one. Unknown error. Let's place them there. Try it in another browser. Try it in another browser. This one obviously is going again. See if it's recording any errors. Let's try then. Try it in Chrome. Try it in Chrome. Try it in Chrome. Working okay. Wait, let's just check if there's any errors. There's one error. Failed to load. Server. The icon. So I'm meant to have this little icon there that is missing. Sometimes this arrow popping up, sometimes it doesn't. Chrome is saying recognition ended, restarting. Oh, this one getting lots. One sec. I just finish it now. Continue next time. Bye.